Hi guys! Today I will be doing some commentary over some Battlefield 3 gameplay. This is going to be about my experiences at the Met Film School. I just finished my Bachelor's of Film and Television Studies and now I'm currently doing an MA at Met Film School in Ealing Studios. I wanted to talk about what it's like and the expectations I had and how it basically fulfilled or did not fulfill my expectations. The unit that I'm taking at the moment is feature film production. This unit is going to be about how to produce a feature film and give it, for example, to financiers or producers and sell it off as a feature film and have it perhaps, produced one day. I didn't know what to expect from a film school because I've actually never been to one and I haven't actually met anybody who's been to one, so I had absolutely no idea what it was going to be like and I never saw anything on the internet, so I decided to talk about it right now. The film school is very small. It's a small business in some kind of sense because it's actually quite expensive to take a course or to take even a small course. The immediate benefit that I saw from going to film school was actually meeting professionals. People that have been inside the industry, the people that have had experience, know about filmmaking and have a lot to teach me. When I was doing my bachelor's, I had teachers who were not really within the industry or who had been part of major productions but had rather been doing small independent things or had been writing academic work, which is perfectly fine because when you're doing a bachelor's, you need the academic background. And I'm still going to have to write lots of essays and I have to think about it from an academic point of view. But this course is very practical in that kind of sense because you really get a hands-on idea about what filmmaking really is. Everyone that's surrounding me is passionate about filmmaking, and when I was doing my bachelor's, I was kind of disappointed because I thought I was going to be with people who were just as passionate as I was about filmmaking. I was a little bit disappointed because a lot of people were actually a little bit unsure about, what they wanted to do. And they chose filmmaking because they thought, oh wow, I'm going to be watching movies, whenever I go to lectures. And I'm just going to be watching movies, I'm going to be having fun with friends, I'm going to meet all these amazing people. And to the contrary, this isn't exactly what filmmaking is about. When you're doing and studying film, you actually have to think about the camera placement, you have to think about the, who's cast, you're going to have to think about the in-depth, cinematography, the color correction, the color choice, every little tiny detail. And for some people, it really destroys a film, and for others, it really enhances their filmmaking, viewing. In my case, I really enjoy filmmaking because it puts a lot of different things together. When I was young, I didn't know what to choose between drama, between art, between all these different things, and I decided I wanted to do filmmaking because you can integrate all of these things into film and make it into something that you want to do with other people. You can work with other people. Biggest difference from the bachelor's and from the master's is the amount of students and obviously the passion. During my bachelor's, there were tons of students who weren't taking it seriously and who, wanted to do development, or they didn't really know what filmmaking is about, and they dropped out and I never ever saw them ever again, and it was very difficult working with them. But master's is very different. Master's is, everyone's very, you spend a lot of money on this course, so you have to do it correctly, you have to do it quickly, you have to do it fast, and you want to do it your way. The people that are on my course are all professionals, they've worked within the industry or they've worked in some kind of industry, and that's really helpful because they kind of know where to place themselves in, they've had some experience. Another thing that I really like from the course is get a hands-on idea. I talked to you get to do a Q&A with the directors, the writers, the actors, and you can ask them questions about the film. So first we did a viewing of the film. Usually in the bachelor's, we never had an opportunity to actually meet people or, even have enough time to see their film. But after seeing their film, you kind of get an overview of what they've done and perhaps, what their failures or their really great points. And you got to ask them questions. So I saw a really great film called Tony, and the director and the actor came in and we got to ask them questions about how it was filming such a film without, for example, a script. Where we found out that they filmed in 16mm and they specifically wanted 16mm for an artistic point of view because it's gritty and it's dark. And that's all really interesting. Another interesting point of view is that when you're doing a BA, a lot of the teachers haven't been part of a huge system or a huge company. The teacher that's teaching me right now used to work at HBO, which is really exciting to hear. But she's able to give me a kind of a background from her perspective about what she's learned in the industry, the people that she's met, the experiences that she's had during pitching and development. And I find that all very, very interesting. This has been, I think, the first or the second week of filmmaking, and I feel like I've really, really learned a lot. I've had a very, it's a very sharp learning curve if you haven't worked within the industry, but I think it's really worth it. The price is really, really high, so if you are doing a MA in filmmaking, I would definitely be there for every single lecture, just because the price is so high and because almost every lesson you have something worthwhile to learn. Even if it's a, I guess, guest who you think has not done an amazing job, you can still learn from them because they've learned from their mistakes and how difficult it is in the industry, and they give you tips about how to get in industry, how to get the producers, how to get your script done, working, I guess, the style. I mean, I've read tons of books about filmmaking, and all these people just put everything into perspective. You see all the digits, you see all the numbers, you see all the writing, but it's not really special until someone actually tells you with the experience, and you can ask them questions like, so what are you doing now? How are you trying to get into the industry? And they'd say something like, well, ... It's different for every single person. And I personally like the idea of making a short film, sending it to a festival, having that film do really well, and then producers seeing you or being captivated by your, filmmaking style, your filmmaking themes, your characters, and say, hey, I like you as a director. I've got this script here, and I think you'd like it. Have a read. I read the script, I'm gonna say, wow, this is such an amazing script. Where did you get it from? You say, that's really good that I hear you saying that, because I want you to film that. Oh, really? That's amazing. Yeah, sure, no problem. Okay, well, seeing as this is gonna be a small film and not a huge film, I'm gonna give you £600,000. Yeah, sure, no problem. It's not gonna be sharp learning curve or something like that, and I'm gonna be really, really working hard. But then after that, it goes to another festival, it does really well, and then people are like, yeah, I think you're responsible enough to take a huge, large feature film. And then that's just like, it's just upwards. And being a girl within the filmmaking industry is a very much, I think, uncharted territory. I know Mrs. Bigelow has had a very successful career, and that she is critically acclaimed and everything else. But besides that, you don't really hear any other female film director, unless you're talking about the Iranian female film directors, because apparently there's tons of them. And I think it's a real shame, just because girls, women have just as much artistic value as men. And we might just have a different way of, innovating a certain type of genre or characters or plots or film techniques. Something really exciting, something nobody else has ever seen before. Or perhaps we're just going to be, the same dreary people. But there's a huge balance in that there's so many more male film directors and female. And I think it's a real shame. But I'm happy to say that in my class there are at least 4 other females. And I believe that all of them want to be directors. And I think that's such a great step forward. I'm going to encourage all other female filmmakers, directors, to really, get out there. If you guys are female film directors, I would love it if you guys were to send me your videos, and we can kind of share it on the channel, and we can kind of have this communication. Because I've talked with people within the gaming community who have had kind of the similar problems with being a female within the gaming industry, because there's a lot of negativism, and there's just, but it'd be great if there was kind of a collective where females could kind of come together and share their creativity in their films and everything else, because just because you're a female doesn't make you a bad filmmaker. I mean, the Iranian cinema is already a great example of how great cinema can be from a different perspective. And it's just, it's not going to make a huge difference. The only difference is the name. And I would find it very shallow of any audience who sees a female film director and says, you know what, I don't want to watch that movie. It's going to be crap. Unless you're talking about rom-coms, and I kind of understand you. Not a huge fan of just watching rom-coms because, you know, they kind of get a little bit boring after a while. So yeah, that is my opinion on the film school and female film directors. And I really suggest for anybody who has the money and the time and who really has a passion for filmmaking to go take an MA course, because it's really eye-opening. If you have no experience as well, it's a really good thing. I guess if you do have experience and in this, you know, economic crisis, you're in a film business and you have a job, I wouldn't suggest going to a filmmaking MA course, because you're probably gonna learn a lot more being on set or being in the production. And that's all I gotta say about this. I hope you guys liked this video. Please like and subscribe for more content. See you guys later. Bye!